Never in doubt, right?
Oh, Nuggets.
Look where we are.
Nuggets.
The Winners Lounge.
Back in the Winners Lounge. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Winners Lounge. The Nuggets, they get a big win tonight. 125-119 over the Toronto Raptors. We're here to break it all down for you, presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. I'm Harrison Wynn. That's Brendan Vogt.
Who's that behind me? I actually did just see that out of my peripheral vision for the first time.
That's your best friend.
It was kind of terrifying. Yeah. What's up, fellas? These nights at the bar are so funny because it's a sickos only night, right? Maybe only like 12 people showed up for just like a, you know, it's an off night. Like Nuggets are playing the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
And of course they were going to come back and we all just get to celebrate it together. Like a little special club. You know what I mean?
I know. And when we celebrate, we drink milk.
That's right.
Like Bruce Brown does on the team plane. That's Eric Weedham.
You just have to. You just have to.
Yeah, guys. Wow. The majesty of Nuggets basketball. 4 quarters, maximum effort, never take their foot off the gas, which you love about a team like this. Eyes on the prize most of the time. What the hell was that game?
This was a game where the Nuggets proved they can try for a quarter.
Let's go.
And win.
Let's go.
That's Superstar Dev.
I got something we should start doing here. We should start taking milk shots.
Oh, my God.
Instead
Milk
of
shots.
Rakia. We should take milk shots instead of Rakia around here.
How did you get that milk?
It's
Dev right now is holding a gallon of Costco milk.
Well, it was.
Kirkland brand.
I mean, we have sickos here.
Yeah.
We have diehard goats. Steve May dropped it off. We had a discussion in the pregame about milk.
Right, because Bruce Brown, a story has emerged where Bruce Brown apparently texts in the Nuggets group chat a picture of the glass of milk he orders on team flights.
Yeah.
You know, Bruce Brown, no longer on the Nuggets, is putting this in the group chat.
So wait, did that come from a diehard goat? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, diehard goat. It was Steve May.
Oh, okay.
Steve May. What a game. What a game. What a treat. You know what I mean? What a treat.
The game or that milk?
Both.
Oh, gotcha.
It was both.
Dude, room temperature milk, what a treat.
It's room temperature?
Oh, no, it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold.
Is it Murray first half or Murray second half cold?
I think y'all are just hating because Steve didn't bring y'all anything.
He didn't bring me a goddamn thing. You're right about that.
Did he bring you cookies too?
He did bring cookies,
Okay.
too.
We'll get into those in
Son of a
maybe
biscuit,
segment
man.
2. Nuggets get the win, 125-119. This was not never in doubt. Denver was down 22 points in this game.
He was extremely in doubt.
A ridiculous comeback win. Let's get into the fast recap right now. My first note in this one, Aaron Gordon eating. You predicted he would eat tonight. He had 6 of the Nuggets' first 8 points. My second note, Jonte Porter in the game for Toronto. I believe this was the first game that Michael Porter Jr. played against his brother Jonte.
Jersey
He
swap
was
after the
damn
game.
good, too. I'm not going to lie to you.
He
better
was
than I
good.
thought he was.
Yeah, he came off the bench for them, finished with 14 points, 5 assists.
+1.
+1. There you
Did
go.
you see the Porter jersey swap after the game?
Yep, little jersey swap after the game. Very cool stuff. Nuggets were turning the ball over a lot. 3 really bad turnovers early led to easy Raptors buckets, and Toronto was playing hard. You know, the difference I felt like between the Raptors tonight and the Jazz the other night was like the Raptors were playing way harder than the Jazz were, and they were also getting to the rim. They weren't just settling for threes, and Denver just wasn't offering a ton of resistance inside. Toronto got hot as well. Denver trailed 34-32 after the first quarter. Not a lot of defense. Second quarter, things got bad for the Nuggets. Sloppy start. Bad turnovers. Can't get a defensive rebound. All of a sudden, Denver trailed 45-32. And then kind of Denver just let go of the rope. The Nuggets were down 68-51 at the half. They gave up 68 first half points to a Raptors team that was without Scotty Barnes tonight. They were without Emmanuel Quickley. They were without Gary Trent. A lot of starters, and they still put up 68 points on the Nuggets. In the third, Denver came out with a little more energy. I'm sure Michael Malone lit into his guys at halftime.
Maybe they had milk.
Maybe.
Maybe they had one.
Maybe I should have.
Maybe they had 1 gallon of milk they're all taking slugs off of.
Just passing it around.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna be sick.
Bunch of fellas sharing some milk, dude.
Nuggets were down 15. Jamal Murray went to the line after a Raptors take foul, missed the free throw. Jokic missed a layup on an ensuing possession. It felt like that's where Denver could have grabbed momentum. They didn't. But then Denver got the lead down to 14 later in the third, then to 12, then to 9 on a Murray 3. It was an 11-3 Nuggets run, then to 7 out of a timeout. The third quarter was a Nikola Jokic masterpiece. I believe he had 17 in the third. It was definitely at least 17 points in the third quarter. He was out of control. Nuggets were down 5 after the third. And then the fourth quarter was the Jamal Murray show. He was unbelievable in the fourth quarter tonight. He had a beautiful dish to Zeke Naji. He had a great drive. Denver finally got the lead, 108-107 with 6:30 left in the fourth on another Murray bucket. And then the dagger was actually a Jamal Murray to Michael Porter Jr. 3.
That's my favorite part, man.
And Denver won 125-119. They come back from down 22 points. Just a ridiculous comeback.
Well, hey, listen, the silver lining is that if you bet on the Raptors to win, they got up 20 points, so you cash that at Bet365.
That is the silver lining. Beautiful silver lining.
Beautiful.
Let's get to our big takeaways presented by Red Hawk Roofing. As always, Superstar Dev, start us off.
My big takeaway in this one is we had a question in the last pregame, postgame show of what is this stretch of the season called? The thing I talked about was GOAT talk. This was a GOATed game from Nikola Jokic. I mean, he was the first to ever put up the stat line of 35 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, and he has 6 blocks. This was Tim Duncan-esque.
6 steals.
6 steals. Tim Duncan-esque. Like, people don't have these type of games, and how do I know that? Because he's the first to ever do it. Like, this was incredible, and we see all of these lists that he's at the top of or the first since, but he has a lot of them himself where he is the first ever. He's the GOAT.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man.
Do we think this clinched MVP tonight, or is it still kind of a two-horse race?
It was done already.
It's done. It's been done. Dev won, obviously. It's the Milk VP. My big takeaway is that the Denver Nuggets still have a switch. They still have the switch. They can come out. They can play so listless, so uninspired. They can get out-hustled. They can get outworked. They can get outclassed. And it does not matter in the slightest because just when they decide to turn it on, I mean, they've got Big Honey. They got peanut butter jelly. They've got all of the requisite ingredients to get the job done. It kind of sucks. I mean, although I got to say, actually, they made this game like really interesting. If they had just like come out and mowed down the Toronto Raptors like I expected, like they did to the Jazz last game, like that was a pretty boring game, like a pretty pedestrian drubbing. This was like very exciting because I was so mad and then I was so happy.
You were sending out some pretty passive aggressive tweets.
No. Those were aggressive tweets.
Yeah, those were straight to the point.
That's a good point. Yeah. You weren't tricking anybody with those.
No, I was annoyed as hell, man. Like I'm like, dude, we cannot have the last half of the season be like this where they just come out, they just do not try. The Toronto Raptors out-efforted them so greatly in the first half. It was gross. And then the Denver Nuggets they're the word that everybody used. They are inevitable. Like if once they decide to lock in, like it's just over. So I don't know, like maybe just like don't play the first half, like something.
I did see on Twitter this is the 4th time the Nuggets have come back from 22 points this season.
That feels right.
Yeah.
Feels right.
It feels like not the last time we're going to see that this season.
Right.
Also.
Michael Malone's like, please don't share that stat with anybody associated with this team because they'll do it again.
They'll do it again, man. They've got to switch.
Vote.
Yeah, Eric just mentioned the switch, and I'll go a little more specific. Jokic has one on defense, man, when he decides to turn it up. It's still better than given credit for, still, to this day. And he had 8 stocks tonight, fellas. 6 steals, 2 blocks, and the steals felt particularly important to his third quarter masterclass and that comeback. Yep. He is insanely good in the passing lanes. He is just insanely good at, I think, maybe applying his own IQ now to the other side of the floor. Like a guy who just understands everything about how offense works when he wants to be is where he needs to be defensively. And there have been some nadirs defensively this season, Eric, but there have been some real bright spots, and tonight was one of them. Obviously didn't start that way in the first quarter, but
that was a nadir.
6 steals and 2 blocks, right? So the guy goes 35, 17, 12 with 6 steals and 2 blocks. Yes, it's the G League Raptors. That's still effing ridiculous.
Put some respect on Kelly Olynyk's name, though.
Yeah, excuse me. But the 6 steals for a center is crazy.
Like that.
The 6 steals for a center is crazy.
It is crazy, man. 6 steals, 2 blocks. He was a plus 12. I mean, the Raptors scored 30 in the third, but then only 21 in the fourth quarter. It was the typical Nuggets lockdown fourth quarter crunch time defense. My big takeaway is that, look, I think we should expect a lot more of these games throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, yes.
This is going to be life for people watching the Nuggets from here on out.
Dude, we're Slogville, USA, dude.
Slogville, USA. This is what it's like to live there.
Yeah, dude.
The Nuggets have a lot of games throughout the final portion of this schedule against bad teams. That's something you should be thankful for as a Nuggets fan. They play the Spurs here in a couple games. They play the Blazers, the Grizzlies, the Spurs again, then the Spurs again before the end of the season. 3 more games versus the Spurs. 2 more versus the Grizzlies. The Nuggets, in my mind, and I think in their mind, have shown all they need to, have accomplished what they need to, have played the Celtics and come out on top in those games. They've done what they need to feel like a team that can win the championship again. I think that's what they think. That's what I think as well. And I would just put a warning out there that you should expect some more of these games throughout the remainder of the regular season. This is probably what the stretch run is going to feel like a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. Hilarious how insanely correct Eric was about everything he said in the pregame. I think this game did go like he said it would, including the win. But I'll never forget, guys, Bruce Brown in a scrum last year. I think I asked him why sometimes it's so hard to beat the bad teams, like just how that can happen. And not necessarily beat them, but how these kind of halves can happen. And Bruce said, guys in the NBA, the players on the floor are never tanking, right? A team may have a roster that's not built to win a lot of games. Yeah. They may have some guys out. Maybe they could have played, but they rested them. The guys on the floor, it's an audition. It's a golden opportunity. And the players are never tanking. And so what you run into when you play these games, obviously the Raptors aren't as good as the Nuggets at full strength, and they were missing a lot of guys. The guys on the floor were going to play like this was Game 7 of the finals for the Raptors. This was their chance to show something to the staff and each other and get a big win. So those kind of first halves, I think they do happen. On the aggregate, the good teams beat the bad teams, and the Nuggets won tonight. But it's just, sometimes this happens in the NBA, man. These guys are going to come in and play harder than you. And the maturity is in taking a beat, particularly at halftime, ideally before, and saying, we have to be more mature here, fellas. And it's maturity and responsibility that carries you through these wins, because you're obviously better.
Yeah, you talk about the maturity and the responsibility. This year feels a little bit different in the sense of they're not losing these games that I feel like they did in the past. Like there was a lot of these letdown spots or trap games, per se, where Denver kind of gives up, or they're just like, hey, they have it more than us tonight. This was a game that they could have given up because they played so poorly in the first half, and the Raptors played really well. But I just feel like they're much more comfortable with each other, much more in control of these games. Even when it seems like they're out of it, they just go to the next level. They look like themselves a lot quicker than they have in the past, and that comes with like continuity, just having the same group. Yeah. This one just feels a little bit different this year, where I can't think about a lot of teams that they just lost to that they shouldn't have.
Well, I think it might be because they might have a better switch this year than last year.
I think you're right.
Dude, they upgraded their switch. This is what
lag switch.
They got a toggle switch. This is exactly what the Warriors would do.
Yeah.
The Warriors would come out, like, play lackadaisically. The Nuggets have had this, the just powerful third quarter responses where they just come out and, like, set things right. This was extreme. Like, this was an extreme version of that.
Yeah. You need to bring out the big switch for tonight.
Dude, they were, I know, like a big, like, comical, like, game show switch.
What
like
if the
Double Dare or
Nuggets just
something?
had an actual light switch
They should.
in their locker room?
Malone walks in. All right, motherfuckers. Just flips it on.
He gives this impassioned halftime speech
Flip.
just about as he's about to walk out of the locker room back to the court. He just flips it up.
And they just lose
And
their
everybody's
minds.
like, let's go!
The switch!
Jokic starts screaming in Serbian. And you're like,
Or like, it's the new DPOG award. Like, somebody is selected to flip the switch at halftime.
Yeah, you win the electrician award. You're
Zeke,
like,
flip the switch.
Then they
I've got-
lose.
Yeah, I've got the power. Yeah, it's like gross and inspiring in equal parts. I'm not sure which I'm more taken by.
But I do think their switch might be a little better than last year because, like, you can say what you want if this version of the Nuggets is better than last year's version of the Nuggets, but I think the starting five is better this year than it was last year. I think Nikola Jokic is better than he was last year. I think Michael Porter is better than he was last year. I think even Jamal Murray can take over a game maybe the same way he did last year. KCP, AG is a better player than he was last year, I think. Just how the starting five works together and is able to score and create easier opportunities. I think they create better baskets than they did last year. So I actually think, to Dev's point, maybe a reason why they don't lose this game and they might have lost it last year is because the starting five is just better.
And I think part of that is defensively. And I don't even know, it's not about comparing the defensive ratings per se. It's about what the switch looks like for Denver. And in my opinion, this group has a better defensive switch than they did last year.
Yeah.
And as much as Bruce's energy was awesome, there was also like a semi-long stretch in the regular season where he wasn't a great defender, in my opinion.
No, they
And
sucked.
Christian and Peyton together might add up to as much, if not more. And I think the starting five is better defensively. I think, again, maybe inconsistent with the best two players offensively, but at their peaks, Murray and Jokic, I think, have been better defensively. I think Porter's been better defensively all year. KCP has obviously brought it to another level, right? So, and we know what Aaron Gordon does. So I think I think they're a better defensive team than they were last year. And
The numbers would certainly reflect that.
and particularly in the switch, that's how they turn games around, especially against these teams.
Yeah.
You know when the switch really came in this game? As soon as Steve May came and dropped off the milk.
It was midway through the third quarter.
They were down. It was right after half. They were down 17. He brought the milk, and then right after that,
I'm going to fucking throw up,
Nothing
dude.
but goodness. Nothing but goodness after that, man. Go talk.
I'm glad Steve May is the one who delivered the milk, and he delivered it to you. Because if he delivered it to me, I would have had to give it to you to drink. I'm not drinking.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little hurt that I got no milk, no cookies, no consideration of any kind. I like milk.
You're a
Whatever.
milk guy.
Yeah, you didn't talk
I'm
about
a
it in the
milkman.
2%.
You should have talked about it in the
whole milk.
pregame.
I didn't think that I thought
I like oat milk.
oat milk's that's not even milk.
Yeah, it's
Come
like
on.
juice.
I don't know if I go juice, but
Oat
I think
milk's
that's for sure the one thing it's not.
but it's like cheating with milk.
Dude,
It's like cheap milk.
You know what? It's just like washing oats and then calling it milk. That's just what it is.
Kinda like-
I will say my favorite part about our show is our chat loves jumping on they don't waste any time. Like milk's a bit now. They're loving it.
All right. Well, on that note, let's hit a
Chad
break.
has a switch, dude.
Let's flip the switch, head to a break, and we'll talk about Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray's nights on the other side here because they balled out.
Sure did. Do you want me to do them both? No, I'm happy to. It's Miller time, baby. It's time to drink some Miller Lite. And more specifically,
not milk, not juice.
not milk, not juice, something else. It's actually arguably easier to drink than both of those things. And if your goal is to consume a little alcohol, it's definitely the way to go. This Friday, there is a big time Miller Lite watch party that's happening. And I'll just say that if you're into giveaways and Nuggets games and attending Nuggets games live and drinking beers, you're going to want to show up to this one. You know what I mean? Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. And it's never ordinary with Bet365. They don't do ordinary. They believe every sport should be epic. Every moment should be epic. And it can be when you download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365 to sign up. Deposit $10 and choose between either a bet and get offer and a place a bet of $5 or more to get $150 in bonus bets, or a first bet safety net offer by placing a bet up to $1,000. And if your qualifying bet loses, receive a match refund and bonus bets. There's also the NBA early payout offer. If your Raptors get up 20 points, you win. You don't need them to win the game. You can also do that with the Nuggets. Remember, you have to be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, and we're back here on the Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. What?
The chat is they're like in their third quarter Nuggets mode.
They're
on fire.
There's some bangers in
They
there.
flipped the switch.
The chat has flipped the switch. It is
Read me some of the bangers.
the Milker Chuggets.
Haley got a banger.
What if people started dipping their chicken nuggets in milk?
Milker time, milk bang.
The milk bang is good.
That's milk bang.
That's a good one.
Milk bang tonight and ongoing right now.
Alex said that he's drinking milk right now. Same.
Yeah.
The only two adults that can make that claim.
Guys, Nikola Jokic, he was pretty good tonight. His final line in this one, 35 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists. 6 steals, 2 blocks in 38 minutes. I believe he's the first person ever to post that stat line. He turned it on in the third quarter tonight where he had 17 points. And that was really when Denver got back into this game. Dev, what were your impressions of Jokic's night?
I mean, this year, more than ever, he really has shown that he truly just hates to lose. Like, he takes himself up to that level of, I'm down right now. I'm going to do everything that's in my power to get us over this hump. He was very aggressive in that second half. Whatever was said at the halftime, it was like, hey, we're going to find Jokic and we're going to let him eat. And he ate. And had milk and cookies to go along with it. But, I mean, 17 rebounds. He was like a force on the board. He made sure to, like, take advantage of that mismatch. The assist came early, but I feel like he was aggressive, but to the point of I'm going to stay under control. I'm not just going to shoot every single time. I'm not demanding the ball. I'm still going to play my brand of basketball, but it's just going to be where no one can guard me. The Raptors had no idea how to slow him down, just as every other team. This was another banger from him.
Yeah. Were you surprised that Kelly Olynyk couldn't slow him down at all?
Not even a little bit.
D-line?
I'm lost in the sauce. Who are we talking about? Jokic or Murray? What's happening?
Jokic.
I'm drowning in milk over here. I mean, what are you supposed to say about this guy? It's stupid at this point. Like, it's honestly, for us to be, dude.
Keep going.
I mean, just chug it in my ear, my guy. Nikola Jokic is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire sporting life. I grew up with John Elway. I've seen Peyton Manning. I watched Peter Forsberg, Joe Sakic. All of those guys are great. And Nikola Jokic is so consistently, at least at that level, oftentimes above. I cannot believe how good this guy is every single night. It is wild that he literally just decided to put the Denver Nuggets on his back, will them to a victory, invite everyone to come along. Jamal decided to come along eventually, but Nikola Jokic just does whatever he wants to do. So he scored 17 points in the third quarter when the Nuggets were getting their absolute faces kicked in. Like, it was embarrassing to that point. I was just firing off pithy tweet after pithy tweet. I know that Jokic saw it. I know he says he doesn't have a cell phone. There's no way.
In the locker room, actually, there's a giant light switch, and then next to it, there's just a screen with a timeline of all our tweets.
With my tweets on it. But he definitely saw it. He's like, man, I can't go out like this. Nikola Jokic is just something that is going to be hard to explain to generations after this. They're going to be like, oh, they'll do what all of the kids are doing now when they're trying to discount the 90s. They'll show like images of him. They'll be like, he couldn't jump over a pack of cars. He was going up against plumbers like Kelly Olynyk and whatever.
I mean, Kelly Olynyk, the image of him probably won't age that well.
That's what I'm saying, but it's just like there's something so magic about what Nikola Jokic is, what he brings. There's just it's truly, I don't know. It's something you can't ever take for granted, but like I don't know what to do. I have like my pleasure center is like eroded from what he's done to me.
Wow, eroding. Vogt, I guess like the overarching feeling around Jokic right now, it feels different this year to me than it felt last year a little bit. Whereas obviously statement week happened, it feels like Jokic is having a little bit of a moment. Whereas, every podcast out there, every analyst out there, the take right now is just he's so clearly the number one player in the NBA. There's a big gap there, and just no defense and no player can stop him. It doesn't feel like that was the narrative last year. The narrative last year was he's incredible, arguably the number one player, but it didn't feel like this. I mean, now they go up against, quote unquote, maybe arguably the best defender in the NBA in Anthony Davis. He doesn't even try to guard him for the entire game. They go up against arguably the best defense in the NBA, or one of the best defenses in the NBA, the Boston Celtics. He puts up a historic stat line against them. Does it feel a little different to you at all this year compared to last year with him?
Yeah. I think last year we compared Jokic to other players in the NBA. I think now people are comparing Jokic
God?
Historically.
To God?
Yeah, to the basketball gods, right? Even jokes aside. The question is less of how close is Jokic to the next best player and more of, are we watching one of the all-time greats? And that's old news to us, but I think that's where it's at now. And I even think there are some people out there that would agree with you, like that if you said right now, just watching him, how many guys have been better than he's ever been now? 3, 2, 1, 0? Yeah. And I think even people that might not look at his career as a whole when it's all said and done and say that's the GOAT, would even probably concede that at his peak he made it look easy as anyone has. So I think he has transcended the NBA now, and he's now a guy almost competing with history.
Yeah. It's just crazy to take a step back and soak in the narrative and the conversation, because now it's just that there's no player or team or defensive scheme that can stop him. And that's a universally accepted take.
Yeah.
Which that hasn't been a take about anybody else in my lifetime. You never said that about LeBron.
Right.
You know?
You're like, he won't take the last shot. There were things that you could point to that
Curry, I think, did have a narrative around him that there was no defense, no defender that can stop him. And that was accurate for a couple, a stretch in time.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. The wildest thing about Jokic is that this has been true for now, 4 or 5 years? And it's really just now people finally catching up to it.
Right.
And he's actually, I have to look, but this can't be his best statistical year. It probably was his, first or second MVP season that he probably had. I don't know that for sure.
His highest scoring year, I think, is still the one where he was just doing it all by himself.
Exactly.
No Murray, no Porter.
And he was just as unstoppable. He was just as transcendent. But, now with the championship, people are forced to look at Denver in a way that they just don't want to. They never have wanted to. Stephen A. Smith doesn't want to come here. There's just
we don't want him here either.
Yeah, there's just a thing about where you're just like, whatever, it's Denver. And now they just you just cannot look away. You want to. All these guys want to. They want to crown Jason Tatum. They want to crown all these other guys that are playing in markets that they just traditionally feel comfortable looking at. And it's now I love how quiet this conversation has become about Nikola Jokic. I mean, I said this a couple games ago, but it's just wild. After games typically where you would get torched by Curry or something, you'd be like, man, fuck Steph Curry. Yeah. And now every opponent and every national media member watches a game by Jokic and they're like, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, it's just he's too good.
He's just awesome.
The take is, you can't do anything to stop him, so whatever.
Yeah, it's just like
That's just
they're
crazy
they're
to
just
me.
resigned to their
Crazy
fate.
that we're there.
It's amazing, but they should have been there 4 years ago.
Right. Jokic, by the way, he was averaging 26 points per game before tonight, so that average will go up slightly. That's only 1 point per game less than the 27 he averaged in that second MVP season.
Wild.
So
Unreal.
closer than you think to a career high in scoring this year. Jamal Murray was also great tonight, but mainly in the fourth quarter. I mean, he didn't really do much in the first 3 quarters. He was bad. He was bad defensively, but he came alive in the fourth and just, delivered clutch bucket after clutch bucket after clutch bucket. 26 points for him, 12 assists, and only 1 turnover. He was a plus 15 in 39 minutes. Also 5 rebounds as well. Dev, what do you think of Jamal's night?
I can't believe the switch that he truly turned on.
Yeah,
and
man.
really, that goes to show you, like we've been saying it all along, but, I mean, he is the difference between the Nuggets being a really good team and being the champions.
Yep.
It's him.
Oh, yeah.
In the first half, just a really good team. Not even a really good team. They were
No,
just
they
a
were
team.
a terrible team.
They were just a
actually, in
team.
the first half.
Soon as he turned on the switch, they became a contending team again. Like, that's just the type of a player that he is, and that's the type of ceiling that he brings to this team. I mean, he was spectacular. He started attacking. He looked out of it. He looked like he was just not ready. And then he dug deep and decided to just take over and say, this is a game that, again, I don't want to lose. I don't want to have a bad game. Some say that he had motivation in this game. Maybe he had to dig deep and think about what it is that he's doing it for. But, I mean, he was really good in that second half, and he was a big reason that they won that game.
Yeah, man. It's like, on the one hand, it is so impressive.
How much do you think you're going to drink of that during this?
How much have you had?
If you drink more than
This is
half
actually
of
like-
that, you
he's
might
like-
have a problem.
He's approaching the halfway point. Your colon is going to be like Jamal Murray in the first and second half.
You're definitely going to be leaving the show
issues,
right
and then
after we're done tonight.
You can't be. You're going to make it rain in the second half.
I made better decisions.
But the thing is that, it's, you look at a night like tonight and you just know what this guy is capable of all the time. And this kind of was like a microcosm of the Jamal Murray experience, where there are so many times throughout the season, throughout years, throughout this, that, or the other, you're like, why isn't this like why is he not engaged? Why is he not playing that hard? Why is he just getting blown by? Why, like, does he not want to be here? What's happening? And then he turns it on. You're like, this guy is so fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Why isn't he always incredible? It's just it's such a bizarre conundrum to look at Jamal Murray and try to figure out like what it is that actually motivates him. In the end, he is a transcendent player. In the end, he is, as Dev put, through a swallow of milk, he's the difference between the Nuggets being a good team and an elite team. And it's just, like it is the Jamal Murray experience. I pray that one season he just decides to come out like this at the beginning of the season. He just mows through the competition in the way that we know he can. He becomes the all-star that we know he is. He becomes an all NBA player. He just does whatever it is that we all know he can do. But like, you just have to applaud. Like, he just turned it on. They wouldn't let the Nuggets die, and it was impressive. It was really impressive.
His playmaking was really impressive tonight. That pass to AG you mentioned, and then also
He had a beautiful one to Zeke, too.
and finding Porter for the dagger. I mean,
Yeah.
in the first half of the season, it was a talking point, right? Does Murray always find Porter? Does he even sometimes look him off?
Right.
And the last few weeks, the last month, it's been a lot better. If that was ever a thing or not, the last month it certainly hasn't been. And Porter had a great quote on it saying, Murray and Jokic had to play together first. They figured out how to trust each other first. And both of them, not just Murray, but also Jokic, have had to learn over time to not just be okay with passing it to me, but look to find me because I can be a weapon. And I think that's where Murray and Porter are at now. To see him hit him for the dagger was awesome. Like, the first half was weird for Murray and the defense wasn't great, but like, what are you going to say? He was unbelievable in the second half, and he finished this game a plus 15.
Plus 15, man.
This was a lock, right? His second half?
Yes.
This was a lock, and I
Yeah.
think it's like an easy Nuggets joke we make, but it's also true. The way he was playing at the half, he tweeted an MJ gif yesterday. Wonder why. He was always going to come back and dominate, and He did.
I think he also dropped your name in the post game.
He did.
Oh,
I earned it. I
think we also have the video too.
oh man, that is
Hold up.
good.
Let's hit a break.
We're
We'll
like,
get
what's
to
your
in a
ultimate
little bit.
motivation? Jamal? He's like, is it Michael Jordan? Is it quest to be the greatest Canadian player? No, it's a podcast.
Listen, you're welcome.
I mean, his dad had him in the snow,
Yeah.
preparing for this moment.
You're just the next progression.
He's
from
like,
that.
he's just doing push-ups in the snow while his dad reads tweets at him. He's like,
Just throwing darts at a picture of my face on the board.
At Dipple Bippy says, at Milkman45 says, Jamal ain't nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta play the video.
We're gonna talk about
We
it.
got it.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, let's hit a break. We'll get to the rest of this game and to that on the other side here.
All right, totally normal night for me at work. The American Raptors play rugby at Infinity Park. It's actually Rugby Town, USA. It's a great culture. It's a great rugby culture. It's a fun place to go watch a game. It's a fun place to become a rugby player, even if you have been an elite athlete in the past and maybe the sport you were playing, it didn't work out for one way or another, but you're looking for your next option. The American Raptors might be the place for you. There's also the weekly DNVR Rugby Podcast, which is hosted by Colton Strickler. If you didn't get the ticket, follow Colton Strickler at Colton Strickler and our at DNVR_rugby account to keep up with the latest news. Also, to celebrate St. Patrick's Day at Infinity Park, come out and watch the American Raptors take on Cobras Brazil on Sunday, March 17th at 4 p.m. Wear green for the Raptors green out, and be sure to arrive right when gates open at 3 p.m. to secure a free Raptors t-shirt. Tickets are only $10, and kids 12 and under enter free. Join the rugby incitement and come cheer on the American Raptors. Speaking of American, got to talk to you about American financing. Boy, it's expensive to live in Colorado these days. A lot of us are struggling to pay everyday expenses, and some of you even own homes. God, that's expensive. However, there's some good news for you here. Mortgage rates are lower than they've been in a long time, and last year interest rates were much higher than they are today. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $854 a month by tapping into their home's equity and wiping out high-interest credit card debt. Call American Financing and you may close in as fast as 10 days. You might even be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call today. Tell them DNVR sent you at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000. Or go to americanfinancing.net/DNVR.
All right, back here on the DNVR Nuggets Winners Lounge. We're presented by Bet365, Never Ordinary. Nuggets get the win tonight over the Raptors, 125-119. They come back from down 22 points to get this dub.
Dev said I was milking that ad read. I actually thought I tore through it, but
Yeah, like the milk is going to do to Dev in about 20 minutes.
I mean,
That's
I was browsing the chat too. One suggestion for us to just draft our best milks.
How many milks are there?
I just know chocolate.
We'd have to
White.
get through 20.
Yeah, dude, chocolate milk, obviously the top milk.
Could we get through 20 different milks?
Goat milk, very low.
That's
Quite low.
maybe a 5th rounder.
Yeah, dude. Any other animal? It's already weird that we drink cow milk. As soon as you branch out to another animal, that's where it's how you lose.
I feel like goat milk's got to be just disgusting.
Dude, it probably tastes like a goat.
What does that say? No, I mean this doesn't taste like a cow.
How would you know?
It's a good question.
I would draft oat milk pretty high.
Almond
Again,
milk.
that's a juice.
I'll put almond milk pretty high.
Oat milk's a 1st rounder.
It's a juice.
I got a
dude.
1st round grade on it. We'll get into some other notes from this game in a second, though. Adam Marr is at the arena as well. He'll be coming to us in a little bit to tell us what Michael Malone and some Nuggets players had to say. We do have one video from Jamal Murray's post-game presser, though, that we should get to here. Kale, can you go ahead and roll the tape on this?
Yeah, my bad. Is Brandon here today?
No. Just vote?
Yeah, that guy.
No.
No? That's a little interesting.
I can carry a message for him.
No, that's okay. I'm sure he'll be here next time.
Okay, I'll make sure he is.
Wow.
What would you have said if you were
I will
there?
say this. Adam wanted to go tonight. I should have gone tonight. He is right about that.
Did he call you Brandon, though?
Yeah, Brandon.
Did he?
Yeah.
So he
That's
could have been
worse.
talking about
No,
anybody.
No, it was
He called
me.
it.
No,
No,
somebody asked him.
No, he said
Vogt.
Yes,
that guy.
That was Adam.
That was Adam saying
That was Adam.
Vogt.
Yeah,
Thanks
no,
for
he
that,
said
Adam.
that guy. No, he didn't call you. He called you that guy.
Yeah, look, I earned that one.
Yeah.
I earned that one.
I'm pretty sure Duvall wants to fight you. That's serious.
I know. What would have happened?
I
if
want to
you
know
were
what he
there?
would have said back. Like, he would have just said, "Did you like that? Performance?"
He's like,
Probably, yeah.
He's like, hey, Vogt, you like apples?
Probably. Or just not
I
answer.
scored a whole lot in the second half. How you like them apples?
He was also literally drinking apple juice in that video.
You like apple
I'm surprised
juice?
he wasn't drinking milk, to be honest.
Some people are not as brave. Some people don't have Steve May in their life.
No, apparently I don't. I got no one. I'm very alone.
Do we have any other notes? We can probably move on from that.
If you guys would like to. It's up to
Okay.
you.
I like both sides of it, though. I really do. Like, I love the fact that you called out something that you felt. So, like, you should not feel bad about how you felt about something. So I think that's big. Also, him being an ultimate competitor,
Yep.
that gives an edge. You're supposed to play with an edge, and he is edgier than any other player on the Nuggets besides Nikola Jokic. So
Yeah.
I love it from both sides. And it's just banter in the middle of a season.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that's
like you called him out out of his name or anything like that. You said something that you felt. He's also now going to respond. Hopefully he plays better.
I also want to say, Chad, I did say I was tired of a guy who hasn't made an all-star game acting like he was above a press conference. The all-star point people didn't love, and I think they're right. There's an inescapable irony to me calling out his unprofessionalism in a particularly unprofessional way. I can own that. I'm taking heat. I deserve it. So in that sense, it's a learning moment for me, and I'll get better at it. I will say players could be more respectful at the podium. I wasn't even there that night. It's not that he didn't answer my question, but I know that no one wants to hear the media complain about this. It's a losing battle. It's not my job to be friends with Jamal, but it's not my job to make things personal with him either. I said what I felt. I apologize. I think he deserved that apology, and I probably deserved what I got tonight.
I mean,
I would
in
call-
my eyes, you motivated him to have an unbelievable fourth quarter.
Well, first of all, that's
Get the
obviously
Nuggets
what
away.
happened. He tweeted an MJ gif yesterday, so you guys are welcome. But no, all jokes aside, learning moment for me and for the folks out there who are disappointed in me. I'll reflect on it for sure.
Call out Zeke Naji next time.
Yeah, I should have gone for
You went for the wrong guy.
I
dude.
should have gone for a lower.
Yeah,
lower
a guy,
bar.
a less feisty guy, dude. Should have called that Jokic. He'd have been like,
Or just
brother.
frame it 100 other ways than I did it. There was a point I could have made that was accurate. I went too far, and I understand, and I expect that from Jamal. That didn't surprise me, and honestly, I like it, man. That's who he is. I've made that joke before this. Like, I think he sees everything. I think it motivates him, and
oh God, I gotta
he's-
delete some tweets.
yeah. Oh, he's gonna see that one for sure. That you
No,
sent
man,
tonight.
like I went back and forth with Jamal in a press conference a couple games ago. I asked him a question of Peyton Watson should shoot it every time when he was left wide open, and this was after a game where I think he went 0 of 5 from 3, and Jamal was like, "Nah, I want him to shoot it. Like I'm gonna stick up for my teammate." So I mean, like he goes back and forth with people. So yeah. Let's
stuff.
see what else we've got from this game. Adam just told me he's setting up, so we'll have him shortly.
Dude, I'm just waiting for the two of you to use your opportunity to be the main character of the internet for a day. I had my avatar thing, vote to the Jamal
I
thing.
thought I would avoid it. I made it this far. I probably won't tweet on takeover nights going forward.
You just need to be
I wonder if that.
Yeah,
factored
everyone
in.
just needs to be the main character of the internet just for one day.
I
See how that
don't want
feels.
to be that.
Yeah.
You
I'm
kinda
kind of
had
in a
one
positive
day.
way, though. You could be a
When
positive
was I the main
person.
character?
You had like a LeBron thing one day.
Oh yeah. It was the LeBron Jokic one.
I mean, I wore jeans before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you were the
That
main
was
character in the
positive
best
main
way,
character.
dude.
Yeah,
Being the positive main character different from
You could be a
negative.
protagonist sometimes.
Not me, dude. Not me.
Yeah, just don't tweet, man. just don't tweet.
As I was saying, any other notes from this game?
I mean,
Reggie Jackson had 9 points.
Oh, no, like I mean, we should speak on the Reggie and Zeke Naji. Like those are two players that have had up and down type of seasons, and we've been asking for a long time for Reggie to put together a solid game where he has it. And Jamal didn't have it in the first half. Reggie did, and he kept him around, got the fight back in the game. But just seeing him put together a good game is really a positive, especially this late in the season. If he's going to be part of that playoff rotation, he is going to have to play well. He is going to have to bring some energy, bring some positivity to the team when he's out there. And there hasn't been much of that. So to see him have a good game
Yeah.
I mean, that's a welcome sign, especially for this second unit.
Man, he was playing the way that the Denver Nuggets needed, which was just downhill. He was just going to the rack, getting finishes. He had a couple of seemingly ill-advised three-point shots, but he hit them. And
he hit one.
Well, he hit one of them. But all the same, like, he just brought the right style of play for what the Raptors were doing. I mean, the Raptors were, like, out-efforting the Nuggets so supremely in the first half. They were just behind. They got behind them every time. They got to the rim so easily, and it was nice to like see at least one of the Nuggets like returning kind.
Yeah. My read on the bench right now: Christian Brown, Peyton Watson locked into spots off the bench in a playoff game. Right now, I think Reggie is still hanging on to one of those spots as kind of like that next guy, but a sneaky storyline that's been developing over, that developed over Statement Week a little bit and is still there. Justin Holiday has played himself into Michael Malone's circle of trust, I think.
Definitely.
And I would be surprised if, Justin Holiday is not in the playoff rotation in some capacity. Like, I think he's going to be playing minutes in playoff games. I think at this point in the season, he's there. So that's something to watch for. I believe we have Adam Mares from. There he is.
Dewey.
What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Did you guys enjoy that one?
That was a interesting night.
I enjoyed half of it.
Yeah.
Which half?
First,
Was it I thought it was the second.
We enjoyed that first half. Of
I'm
that
a big Grady Dick guy, so I love that first half.
Well, they were both great. The third half, it was also really good, which is, I know, my part of the show today. So we should get into it. Did you guys already play the clip?
Yeah.
We did play the clip, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
You have any comments about the clip?
So it was you saying vote, right? You mean vote?
Well, first of all, he said is Brandon here.
We picked that up. We noted that.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yep, caught that.
Was that
And
a
I
Joe
just told him
Biden
I'd
thing?
pass a message along if he had a message or something. Because I honestly thought maybe he was gonna. I didn't know which way he was gonna go with it. Then he just said it was interesting. You guys saw the clip. Yeah, let's go to the locker room. We can go because there's actually a lot of good stuff here to get to. First of all, as I'm sure you brought up on the show, there were two chains tonight, but they were not defensive player of the game chains. They were defensive player of the half chains.
Oh my god!
And only one of them was for defense. Jokic's.
We have not brought
Murray
this up.
got the other one. What's that?
We have not brought this up yet.
So there was no defensive player of the game chain, only defensive player of the half. They gave out two. One was actually for defense to Jokic, 6 steals, 2 blocks, of course. And then the other one was for Murray just because he played well in the second half. Not on the defensive end, but just because he played well. But Malone said that he thinks Jokic is one of the most underrated defenders in all of the NBA. He kind of went on about it, and he says, and it's his hands. It's his hands that make him that. And I just thought that was interesting because we always say it all the time, of course, but to hear Mo kind of lay it down, I thought was great. And then the other point, it was really only 2 points Michael Malone really hammered home in the postgame. That Jokic's defense, and then number 2, it was Murray's trust of his teammates in the clutch. And I thought it was really interesting because he brought it up on two different questions, and he led it to Murray's passing and trust of his teammates in the clutch. And I asked him, is this something you feel is new? And you could tell he fell. You got to go watch the interview because you could tell you can see the wheels are turning. Like, how do I answer this without it feeling like an insult? But he was saying, no, he's reading the court better. He's trusting his teammates. And there just seems to be more of a confidence in him to get the ball. So you close tonight's game, not with the finale oop, but with a kick out to KCP for a 3, a kick out to Mike for a 3. And he just was very impressed with Murray because Murray had it going and he still made the right plays in those ones. I thought it was an interesting call out.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed we didn't get a finale oop tonight, but I'll take the MPJ 3. I know.
The table was so set for a finale oop. I honestly thought we were getting it. And then, of course, Murray came to the podium tonight. He was in a much better mood. I was told he asked to come to the podium tonight.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Jamal kind of knew it was a bad look for him in this last one, honestly. And I think he kind of came out there to try to, in some ways, redeem himself and maybe to confront Brandon. But instead, he said he set up his passing, just being aggressive to score. He said the difference is you just have to be aggressive to score, not looking to pass first, make the defense react. And if they do react, he said, I've got Jokic on my team. My job is easy. So his mind frame is always look to score, look to score, look to score. And if not, you have Jokic as a release valve. You have shooters and you have AG, which I thought was great. He talked about being in great shape right now, which I thought maybe was kind of interesting. And he talked about how playing 12 straight minutes at altitude, no matter how good a shape you are, it can be really tough. But in terms of he's been playing 38 minutes a night, for the last 8 games or so, he said there's no difference between 34 and 40 minutes to him. The real thing about how you feel with regards to fatigue is more about what you're doing on non-game days, which I think is very interesting. So it's not about, for him at least, taking days off, playing fewer minutes or whatever. It's really about you just have to start taking yourself seriously this time of year and taking care of your body on the off days. Then you can play as many minutes as you want. So I thought that was an insightful answer as well. And then back to the passing, he said that he's not jumping. The difference between him now and maybe years past is he's not jumping for no reason. And he tries to get into the paint with more control. And then he said being with the injury, it was all just about watching Joker. I think his patience, his timing, and the way he picks his spots between pass and score is beautiful. It was actually, we know Jamal loves Jokic. He's given a lot of good quotes. The ones he had tonight really were like some of the most affectionate we've heard him speak about Jokic. And I thought that was really cool.
Nice. That is cool.
Jokic did not come to the podium tonight, but he did go to everybody went to the locker room to interview him anyway. He evoked Inat tonight. He actually unprovokingly brought up, Scott Hastings asked him about coming back, and he said, I think in Serbia we have a word called Inat. Then he looks at me and gives me a little point and says, I think it was that tonight. It felt like the game was over, and we obviously battled back. I thought that was awesome. And
he's
then,
like, this guy's the only but one who's going to know what I'm talking about here.
he gave this one the – I
don't know if I've ever seen him give that one before.
I swear to God I had. I couldn't believe it.
I feel like I need video on this one.
We have it, so it'll be up on our YouTube page here shortly. And then he was asked, of course, about his favorite dinosaur since he was at the dinosaur. I don't know if you guys saw this, a dinosaur-themed museum or something the other day. And he said he forgot all of their names, but he likes the big one that eats the grass.
See, yes, exactly. Jokic doesn't like dinosaurs.
Is that Brontosaurus?
Jokic likes his daughter, and dinosaurs are for children and for Adam Mares.
Oh, you are so down bad, aren't you, D-Line? This is
how can I be down bad?
Oh, you are so down bad.
He doesn't know any of the dinosaurs, the big one that eats grass?
I think that's Brontosaurus.
Serbian, man. He speaks Serbian. He doesn't know their names.
Those names are Latin.
I love that you can't take the L. Then Michael Porter. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know this one. Michael Porter tonight. This was the first time that he has played against Jonte Porter. They've played against each other, but never been on the court together. And Michael also asked to come to the podium tonight because he wanted to talk about that, and it was actually really endearing. He just talked about how happy he is. He says Jonte is as good of a pure shooter as I am. When we work out together, we make shots at the same rate. He says some of his best. I did love this one. He said he thought Jonte battled Jokic as well as anyone he's ever seen.
Cap.
And then he said, but Jokic did have 36, 12, and 17. So take that for what you will. I just thought it was great. And then he said growing up, they were best friends and that their mom brainwashed them into being best friends, but that they did everything together. He said, and then he went out of his way to talk about, people don't know this, but he classed up so that he could play with me in college and might have even hurt his draft stock. And then he went back a year, when he could have gone into the draft, he went back a year to play and then tore his ACL. So he just went out of his way to kind of just talk about how much he loves his brother, how much his brother has sacrificed for him, and how happy he is for Jonte to sort of be getting a chance now with the Raptors. And you could tell it was a very special night for Michael Porter.
That is really cool. That's awesome to hear. I have one question before you get out of here, Adam. What's your favorite type of milk?
My favorite type of milk?
Yeah.
Give us like two. Give us like two milks that you're into.
Yeah.
Or just one even. A go-to.
I haven't drank milk in a long time, man. I gotta
What?
be honest with you.
Also, I also know for a fact you went to the Ice Capades with your daughter. I assume that means you're a huge Frozen fan. Is that what that means?
No, but Frozen is the bad one. But it's the other ones are really good. Coco, really good, man. I am a huge Coco fan. Moana,
Sure.
Moana fan. Those ones are great. I like a good movie. A good movie could be any genre.
Well, I was talking about the Ice Capades.
I like figure skating.
Do you?
I like Elvis Dueco. You know, I got
Okay, Adam, thanks so much. Great insight, great quotes.
I don't know my ice skating. Vogt, have you smiled today? What's going on here, man?
I've smiled today. Yeah, I've smiled today.
He smiled until that post game.
Wait, hang on. Are you sensing just a touch of regret and anxiety through the screen? Is that what you're picking up on?
I'm telling you, own it, Vogt. Double down on it. Come on.
Dude,
Call him out again.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm glad he did the presser tonight, and he's right to call me out for not being there.
Yeah. All right, see you, man.
We'll see you.
All right, let's hit a final break. And on the other side, maybe a quick around the association. Real quick.
Ooh, the quickest.
We'll hit that in 1 second.
Yeah. I don't see miraculous.
Boston's playing tonight.
That's what I was just looking at.
Just kidding.
DNVR diehards. Diehard is more than just a term at DNVR. It's not just a title that we give to the people who love
we
the
have
Denver
a
Nuggets.
diehard. Sorry.
Sometimes they bring us milk.
Steve May.
It's an awesome membership that brings you to top level access at DNVR. Like a diehard membership card, a free t-shirt of your choice from the locker that re-ups every year with your subscription, access to all of our premium written content like our roundtables, entrance to the Discord lounge where a lot of Nuggets prefer to hang out as opposed to Twitter, discounts at the DNVR bar, and discounts on all events. Again, watching the show is awesome if you want to tap into even more, especially if you're here local, part of the community. Get that diehard level access. Be a real member of the club here at the DNVR bar on York and Colfax. And then if you're trying to watch the Denver Nuggets, which is a point of much contention over the last few years, there is a way to do it. You go to Fubo TV, which has 140 live channels with sports, shows, movies, and news. You can stream live TV from any device. Watch the most Colorado sports for the lowest price. Watch all your favorite college football and the NFL with Fubo. As well, go to www.fubotv.com/DNVR, www.fubotv.com/DNVR to sign up. Get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
Back here on the Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365, Never Ordinary. Sorry, we don't have time for it around the association, actually.
Well,
we have 21 Super Chats today.
That was fast. That was really fast.
Super quick.
Is there a single game that's worth calling out?
Pistons beat the Hornets.
That's the one.
Suns beat the Cavs. Mavs beat the Bulls. Warriors beat the Spurs.
Golden State versus the Spurs without Curry got to win. I mean, it's the Spurs, but it goes to show you that they play them 3 more times. The Nuggets play them 3 more times. That
should be 3 wins.
Easy wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you doing on the milk?
And Boston is currently up
How's the milk doing on me?
Portland.
I got to be honest. Like, I'm a little nervous sitting next to Dev at this point.
Oh, I've already made the choice to not poop.
Hold on.
What?
Is this a choice you make every night? How often do you make that choice?
That's my first time.
On the show, that's an active choice.
Man, this is tough.
Yeah, isn't it for y'all?
We share a couch, bro.
So I actively think about it.
This is rough.
Somebody
man.
in the chat said Adam failed the milk question.
Yeah, the dude had no answer.
I just was looking for anything, anything.
Also, Nikola Jokic, clearly not a dinosaur guy. Had no idea what to answer.
All right, we got to hit Super Chats here.
All right, let's get to him. Patrick Bergen, or Bergen, there was no doubt from everyone in my section at the half, fucking fearless.
Let's go.
I love that. I love when the fans know they just have the switch too.
They've seen it enough times.
Yeah.
42 Ultra?
No, we're going to skip that one.
Okay, cool. Neapolitan woke up from a NyQuil coma to see this WLFG.
You wasn't in a NyQuil coma if you got to wake up.
It's true.
You were just in
CJ
a deep
Jones.
sleep.
Sickos know one thing, it's never in doubt. Last year we were 46-19 after 65 games, holding off 2 tryhards that went out in the first round. Sounds familiar. Bring me the playoffs already.
Bring the playoffs,
dude. This is the worst part. Is this stretch where the Nuggets are so clearly ready for this. They are so clearly minted, and now you're just like, do I hate myself? Do I hate the NBA now?
Right. But I think it's also important to remember there are things we can get out of these games. Last year, something we got out of these games is that Peyton Watson might be decent.
Okay, all right.
If you remember.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
Andrew Bailey. $10 from Andy Bailey. Next show, Dev should do the whole gallon challenge. I wouldn't advise whole milk for that, though.
Oh, yeah, that was a challenge like years ago, right?
Yeah, I would need almond milk for sure.
You could do it with oat milk. Probably.
Oh, the gallon. Dude, the internet used to really
Weren't
just.
people like dying from that though?
The internet has gone through phases. There was a phase where people just like ate Tide Pods.
Yeah, people just
the milk carton
people were
challenge was
mukbanging
the milk,
random
that
shit.
was a wild
The
one.
milk crate challenge,
Yeah, milk
which
crate. That was
I chronicled famously on Online with D-Line. The milk fate challenge. We had to decide whether or not the person was going to make it. Almost everyone died.
hold on real fast. Andrew just put money in our thing to try to kill me on air.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's ever died from it.
There's a lot of-
I'm not saying that.
I do think
that's a fact.
We could set up a camera and it's who finishes first, Dev with the milk or Harrison with the Christmas keg?
Oh, we could.
Oh, one of them is never going to happen.
I don't know which. I don't know which of this. We have to do it now. I simply have to
Challenge.
Thanks,
Chunk
Andy.
Dick Wells burner.
Oh
My
man,
favorite part of the
that
night.
Chunk Dickwell.
Again, just to be clear, this is $5 from Chunk Dick Wells burner.
The burner.
What is milk called when it gets whatever it wants?
Spoiled
milk.
Hell yeah, Chuck Dickwell's burner.
Snake, yeah, babe. Chunk Dickwell had another finger.
Super dope hip hop. $50 plus 200 nuggets, down 21 in the third. Easiest money. Jokic basketball god. A game healthy.
Playoff.
A game healthy playoffs. Jamal, one of GOAT offensive guards. 20 of 23.
Playoff Murray.
Playoffs Murray. Oh, thank you. Playoffs Murray. 26, 7 and 5, 42, 42, 91, 55, 53, 93 in the fourth.
Wow, great stats.
Wow.
I couldn't follow any.
Super
of that.
dope hip hop. Big NBA fan. Always throwing out a lot of stats.
Dude, Super dope hip hop is he's on it.
He's on it.
Yes.
Bubbles buzzer beater. Holiday had a hashtag McRae game. 0.0 rebounds, 0 assists.
Let's go.
Crazy thing to fixate
Jordan
on.
McRae still getting brought up in the chat in 2024.
That's awesome.
Goat boy. Great win. Also, I have to give tons of respect to Vogt for calling it like it was the other day. Jamal was unprofessional and disrespectful. Praising them is easy. Keeping them honest is not. Well, I appreciate people keeping me honest too. It's a two-way street. 5-5-5-5-5-ish. The Nuggets are great at limit testing. They are perfect at making the game hard enough for themselves while still being able to win. I like Dick.
Yeah, dude. Hard player.
He's talking about Dick Grady on the Toronto
No,
Raptors.
Grady Dick.
Grady. Oh, that's right.
Can you imagine
Dick Grady
if we
is like
had
a 50s dad.
That's
a
right.
dick on our show?
No,
Like
yes.
a dick on the Nuggets?
It
I'm
would
really
be-
glad we don't.
Dude,
It'd be such
What's
be such a distraction.
what's
all
the worst
season.
team that Grady Dick could play for? I'll put it out there. The Miami Heat. A Heat jersey that says Dick on the back.
I mean, tons of people have Raptor dick jerseys.
No, tons of people. I know, but which would have been just catastrophic for the NBA?
Oh,
the Lakers?
too popular.
Yeah.
Too popular. Yeah, Lakers
Well,
jersey
if
says
he
Dick on
went
the
to
back.
a team like the Lakers or the Knicks, maybe even the Heat, he might have the highest selling jersey.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And like on all those graphics, top 10 selling jerseys, number one would just be Grady.
Well, the Lakers are online every single night, so they would talk about them a lot. So really, everyone would have dick in their mouth.
We only do this twice a
Yeah,
year,
dude,
I swear.
Keep dick out your mouth. All right, go. Keep going.
All right, moving forward. Vladislav watching Jokic like Stilgar watches Paul. That's a great super.
Okay.
Chunk Dickwell's burner. Just chiming in with another joke. What do you get when a cow gets caught in an earthquake? A milkshake.
Chunk Dickwell was like, "This is my night tonight. They're talking milk. I'm here.
Rubbing his hands together.
Do I got jokes for them?"
My dad had a joke book when I was a kid.
All right, this
Were
feels
there a lot
like
of milk jokes? in it?
Those could have been featured in that
this
book.
feels like the next level of bots. I don't know if this is a real $10 we just got, but J Rich says, "Wow, just found cool Jokic Centaur shirt on Etsy."
He just told the rest of the world that.
Can you imagine if bots get so advanced they start accidentally super chatting?
I got the shirt here.
Yeah. Chunk Dickwell's burner. Jokic equals goat. Milk AG equals whole milk. Jordan McRae equals oat juice. This is off,
you, sir.
off the
you.
rails. Off the rails. Wilson the ghost. Jokic eats his barbecue chicken with a side of milk.
This podcast will never recover from tonight.
Cedric Exquisite. Got milk type of win. What kind we drinking at parade?
I feel like when I host the show, this happens.
Yeah.
It's because you don't like angrily shout down anybody that says
Mukbang also happened when I hosted the show.
Yeah, if Adam's out, we get the show out. That's why he doesn't like leaving much. Like, no,
He's
I'm
never
not
gonna
doing
let
that
me
again.
host again after this.
Jeremy J Rock Michaels, Stinkface Murray. I think he's playoff ready.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Barnett from down under Australia. Jamal is my guy, but Brendo is also my guy. Hashtag Team Vote.
It's Team Nuggets. We're all each other's
We're all
guy.
on the same
At
team.
the end of the day, we're all on the same team.
Jasmine Hedgick. Jamal Vote beef era is better than the post Jokic text message era. Ooh. Remains to be seen. Good start tonight.
This is the same era, though. You know what I mean?
ZL 21-22 Joker had a career high in scoring with 2,004 points. He's at 1,614 this year. Last year he scored 1,690. He's on pace for 442 more this year.
Something sneaky that is on pace to happen this year. I think it's on pace. Is Nikola Jokic will pass Carmelo Anthony for most points in a Nuggets uniform.
That's wild. Also,
That's third most points all time for the Nuggets.
him looking up that stat and having the patience, that was insane. That was a great super chat.
I know, man. He was ready to go. Bashir, new super chat, homie. New super chat regular. Is it Daoud? Please let me know if I'm butchering that. Bashir Daoud. 9-1 in the last 10 games since the break. Hashtag we the best.
That's so true.
DJ
The best.
Khaled.
Post text message era is wild.
Zach Campbell. Don't do the gallon challenge. Did it. Got a kidney stone. Anyway, all the Nuggets are good.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, I got to stop
Kidney
right now.
stone.
I know. What?
That's not what I think you would get from that. But
I wouldn't either. I would think you would just like simply, rot out your colon. And
just
things
ruin
like
your stomach
that. Just
forever.
ruin your night. Absolutely. Like, but yeah, don't do it. I mean, just
All
don't
right, so
do it.
that's one person's opinion, Dad.
Yeah, right. You don't have to listen to that guy.
Yeah, man, I don't worry about they.
Last one.
Josh Barnett. Also, Team Milk. Jokic makes me full cream.
That's a wild. That's wild.
He
Josh.
shouts to you for not working Grady Dick into that.
What a weird show.
Didn't even need Grady Dick.
Shouts to you. for
Guys,
those straight.
thanks for hanging with us tonight. Nuggets get the win. Awesome come from behind victory over the Raptors, 125-119. Nuggets go on the road next. I believe they got a little road trip here at Miami, but then they're back for a Spurs game. So just a quick one-game road trip. We've got a show tomorrow, so we'll be here to talk with you guys then. Give you guys some hangover takes, much more as well. Thanks for hanging with us. Throw us a quick like if you can, if you're watching this live before
And
you get out of here.
You can.
It literally takes
You can do it. You
less
can do it.
than a second. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, we got buzzer beater. Our guy S. Williams.
S.
too.
Williams too. My P-Watch
P-Watch
shirts came today. Fire, fire,
today.
fire.
They probably look like that.
Same.
I know.
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.